Hi, good evening. I hope you are well. I'm so glad to be joining you this evening. Unfortunately, I had indicated that I'll be coming in live at 19:30 today on a Wednesday. But because of commitments, by 19:30, I'm still on my way to Lusaka. But what I then decided to do was, instead of giving an excuse for not coming in live, I thought of, pulling over and giving you the live presentation. It is for a very simple reason. I thought of giving you a live presentation for a car for a very simple reason, because I wanted to keep my words. Now, keeping your words is one of the key components to swimming out of poverty. You should reach a point where people trust you and people can entrust you. As such, I decided to keep my words by having my live session with you wellest on my way to Lusaka. So thank you so much for joining in. And the session for today, we are looking at raise your value. We had the initial session which was talking about hard work is indispensable. Of course, if you work extremely hard, hard work will help you, go towards swimming out of poverty. Hard work will bring you before, the kings. And I indicated the three major components, how hard work will definitely impact you positively. But as you get towards success, here's something interesting that I want you to pick out from today's lecture. It is not about being successful. Your target should not just about being successful, but your target should be being a person of value. Let me mention this to you. The target is not just about you being successful, but being a person of value. You see, you can achieve so much if you have added value to yourself as a person. If you are thinking of swimming out of poverty, as our series indicate, you then have to be a person of value. You need to realize one thing. The more valuable you are, the more the market would be willing to pay you. The more value you add on yourself, the more willing the market would be to pay you so much more. Now, that is good news. It is good news because then it is within your control. What does this mean? It is within your control simply because you can then increase your value. You can then take deliberate steps to see how you can increase your value. You can then take deliberate steps to see how you can keep adding on to yourself so that you can then be paid more. Here's something interesting. No matter how good of a street sweeper you are, no matter how neat you are as a person who does physical washing, no matter how great of a car washer you are, provided you wash physically, no matter how great you may be in those, you can never earn more than an eye surgeon on an hourly rate. Here's the thing. No matter how great you may be as a street sweeper, you will never have a wage more than the eye surgeon. Why? Because the market has placed more value on the eye surgeon than the sweeper. So now then the target for you is to see how you can add value to yourself. And here's something interesting. You'd have two consultants. One is consulting on something and the charge is, say, $20 per hour, which is like 360 kwacha per hour. Then another consultant is charging $500 per hour, which is like 9,000 kwacha per hour. Why the difference? The difference is simply because the market has placed value on this other person than this other one who is actually charging less. And this applies even to public speakers as an example. You'd have public speakers speaking at the same event, same forum, using the same microphones. One public speaker is not being paid anything. Why? Because there is no value in that person. Then at the same forum, another one is being paid $10,000 to speak per hour, which is 185,000 kwacha to speak per hour. Same event. Why? Because one doesn't have value. The market doesn't attach value to that person, and the market attaches value to this other person. So the most important component for you that you need to concentrate on then is how do you add value on yourself, realizing the fact that, you see, the market pays more on those that they have added value on, or those that they attach value to. And you might complain sometimes to say, you see, I work at this company, I do so much work. My supervisor, in fact, if I look at the kind of work that I do, my supervisor doesn't match the kind of work that I do. But the sad part is, my supervisor earns so much more than I do. And sometimes you could even be at the same rate. No, we do the same stuff. In fact, I even work harder than this person. I do so much more than this person. But this person earns so much more than myself. Why is it so? It is for a very simple reason. You may be doing the same stuff, but that company places much more value on this other person than yourself. And you see, you can complain. Now let me give an example of Fanta as an example, so that maybe you just pick out something. If you are buying Fanta from a township or from an ordinary shop in town, or maybe let me say mineral water. If you're buying mineral water from an ordinary shop in town, you pay 5 kwacha for a bottle of mineral water. But the same mineral water, if you are to pick it from a 5-star hotel, from Intercontinental Hotel, from Radisson Blue Hotel, you might pay a 15 kwacha for the same mineral water. Why? Because at Radisson Blue, or maybe at Intercontinental Hotel, the value that side is high. As such, they can charge higher for the same thing. So same thing, as the consultant, as a speaker, you can speak on the same things, but because the market hasn't added value on yourself, or hasn't attached value on you, you will not be paid as much as that other person whose value has actually been rated high by the market. So putting this together, the basic fact is this: if you are thinking of swimming out of poverty, then your concentration should be on how then do you add value on yourself. And here's something interesting. You can forget about everything. You can forget about everything that I have said, but I don't want you to forget this, because this is extremely important. You increase your value by working hard on yourself than working hard on your company and on your job. Maybe I might have to repeat that. You increase value by working hard on yourself as a person, working hard on yourself, than you get value by working hard on a company or on your job. Why is this so? You can change a company that you work for. You can change the business that you do. You can change the strategies that you employ. You can change the tactics that you employ. You can change your mentor. You can change you can change all these things. But here's something interesting. There's something which is very constant, and that is you. So if you are to increase, all these other things can change, but the only thing that will not change is yourself. So you get more value by working hard on yourself as a person than working hard on your company or on the job that you actually have. So what does this mean in short? Your number one target on a daily basis is to see how you can add value on yourself, how you can increase your value on yourself on your daily basis. That should be your target. Now the question would be, how then do I increase value on myself? The basic thing that I'll actually mention of at the moment is that you increase value by education. Now, this could be formal education or informal education. So by informal education, this would mean by reading content that then gets to build you. By intentionally engaging in things that add value on yourself. The challenge that we sometimes have is that we think by engaging in something for a longer time, with time, value be added on you. Value doesn't get added that way. You need to be intentional. You need to be intentional in terms of adding value to yourself. So if I was to summarize this, what I would say is every day you wake up, the first thing is, what value have you added on yourself? As you are getting to sleep now, this is evening now, what value have you added on yourself today? How better are you than you were yesterday? That is the question that you need to respond to. How better are you by the close of the day? Your daily agenda should be to add value on yourself. And sometimes people think, no, I've actually been working in this company for this long. I've actually been doing this business for this long time. It has nothing to do with how long you've actually been doing something. It is how much experience have you gained and how much value have you added on yourself. As we all target to succeed, as we all target to swim out of poverty, as we all target to be great people, as we all target for success, the baseline is we need to add value on ourselves, because that is the only thing that would make it possible that when you are engaged in the same thing, you'll be charged, you'll be paid so much more than the other people. Why? Because you would have added value on yourself. And the charge on you today is that go out there and add value on yourself. Be deliberate about it. Read a book that will make you a better person. Engage in things that will make you a better person. Be a respecter of time. In fact, I have not yet seen a rich man who does not respect time. And I have not yet seen a poor man who respects time. So if you have to add value on yourself, be intentional about it all. This is the message from the radical entrepreneur, and the future is bright. Now here's something interesting. The next session will be coming in on Friday. Now on Friday, I will not be around in the evening. So we are going to have it at 13. Now, as we are picking ourselves now, what we'll be looking at is how do you add value on yourself in a practical way? These are the things that you are now getting next to. So it is getting much more complex, but I want you to follow through closely. The first episode was talking about hard work not being dispensable. Then number 2, we are looking at value. Add value on yourself. That is the only thing that will make it possible for you to do the same thing with another person who is getting paid 10,000 and you are getting paid 60,000 for the same thing. Add value on yourself. That is my message for today. May God bless you.